What are the earnings? How does JPM?
Earnings outlook, I don't think so. It's gonna clear out from banks. Banks usually, every time bank come with earnings, they are usually fade away.
Yeah, but hey, Naval, this is Aman here. For the past 6 quarters, banks have been selling off right after earnings.
It's not 6 quarter. If you go back any years, bank
I-
always sell off.
Right.
So, Aman, when banks sell off, how does that set a tone?
There's
I'm
no
not
tone setting at this moment, Sandeep.
okay.
It's just a perception that yes, Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan is going to set the tone. No, JP Morgan is still going to make more than $1 or $2 billion in profit. Even then, it's going to fall. No other companies make that kind of profits. $2 billion profit, net profit
Yeah.
with their margin, but they're still going to fall.
I think the key is going to be guidance in all the banks. Earnings are going to be good regardless, but I think the guidance for the next quarter is the most important. If they cannot give guidance, then that's going to cause a lot of problem in the markets.
But with the tapering happening and the interest rates going up, their guidance should be good.
See. It's not like that. Tapering and interest rates, they do not go hand in hand. First, tapering is the $120 infusion. That needs to come down. It will come down maybe by mid of June, July next year.
Yeah.
Right now it's 120 billion. It will come down to maybe 20 billion from November end. So 100 billion will still be infused. Slowly and steadily, it will come down to 40, $60 billion. Then there may be a possibility of a rate hike at that moment. That's about 8 to 9 months away. It's not going to happen right now. It's going to take its time, and still then, market is still going to be infused with Fed money. So if somebody is expecting a route, that may not happen because of tapering, or it can happen because of capital gain tax and the real estate tax. If that comes, you will see a wipeout, a clear-cut wipe of 10-15% in a matter of weeks. So right now, that is at the corner because they have moved the debt ceiling just today to December. So they will have good wiggle room to figure out a way to create income for the government. Biden needs money for his bill. That bill cannot run without money. And for that, he needs to raise taxes. He needs to cut down on the corporate taxes discounts which were given by Trump. So he will come back with corporate taxes, add-on taxes. Manchin was initially not in the favor of increasing the like 3.45 trillion dollar. He had a threshold of about $2 trillion. Now he is coming on board slowly and steadily. So if he comes on board, it will allow all these taxes to be implemented. And these taxes will be implemented from the next year. As and when they start, right now, if you're paying 19% on the long-term capital gain tax, it will become to 28 to 29%. Plus, then there is a surcharge.
Yeah.
So people who are carrying or funds who are carrying the positions, they're going to liquidate.
Yeah.
They're going to liquidate right before the end of the year.
That's
But
where
it
the
all
mandate
depends
will
on
happen.
whether we are going to have capital gain tax, long-term capital gain tax or not.
Yeah. So now looking at the SPY, see if you see the SPY, I think SPY is really forming a good inverse head and shoulder, because if you see the today's candle,
Yeah.
and if you see this candle, exactly the one that you just previously clicked, this
Yeah.
one, right? It's sitting at the base, so it has not broken that. So it is.
ES is usually like 24 hours. That's why you see that.
Yeah.
But this here,
If you see this, yeah, exactly this candle and today's candle, their support is exactly same.
that's why I even posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I don't trade
Oh,
SPY,
okay.
I trade ES. So ES is making that base.
Exactly. So because look at this. This is such an amazing chart because it has the same support, same bottom for both the shoulders.
Yes, but it doesn't matter that this shoulder is down somewhat or not. It's just the shape which needs to be clear, pattern needs to
Yeah.
be clear.
Yeah.
Because here we don't have the left elbow. There's
Yeah.
nothing here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still
But
it's a shoulder.
it's still the shoulder because there was a gap down, then filled the gap. There was a gap down again. It filled the gap again. So it's
Uh,
filling the gaps on rise and fall.
yes, Bible, you can speak.
Yeah. So in the negative market, okay, we can do something like, okay, highly where we can short, right? Why we are not seeing so many puts or something like that? This is a long-term question for me.
Shorting is not about put. Shorting is about you can short the calls. The big funds which do trade, they do not trade on buying the option. They trade most on selling the options because that's where you make money. If they are buying options, they are going to buy option, maybe out of the money, and that too will with some time. But if these are usually weeklies or 2 weeklies, either they are hedges, they already have underlying equity with them, or they are just betting on a small dollar amount which they have. It doesn't mean that they have changed their directions. Puts, you have to understand where put is a market for fear. Right now, that fear factor is already gone. You've already sold off like about 6-7%. People were ready to buy Apple at 157. Now it's like available at 140. How many of you are buying? No. So that fear is gone. Facebook was 384. Now it's 320. Google was 2900. Now it's about 2700. Microsoft 305. Now it's 290.
Yeah,
Only
that's
Tesla
what
and Netflix. So
my question is the same. So, right, okay, when we have Microsoft or like Google, right, when it is high, we are waiting for the market to be down and try to call it, okay, right? Normally, the trend which wherever I see, it is like, okay, I see that, okay, so Amazon is down today, okay, can we try a call? But I am
it's a
not.
human perception. It's a human perception. I do like to short,
Yeah,
but I
I know
never
that
like.
you short sometimes. Yeah, so that is
I,
my main question. Okay,
that's
you
what I'm
got me right.
answering. That's what I'm answering. I short ES futures. I prefer to short futures because futures give me quick trade as compared to put options. Put options usually give me a good uh, risk reward, but I cannot trade them overnight. And with futures, it's much more leverage to me. Even if I'm wrong, I can still cut down. Calls I prefer going long because I still see $120 billion money coming into the market. If that money is coming, it will go somewhere. You see, Netflix went up for no reason. It just went up, and up. Tesla went up. There were no reasons. Initially, Facebook and Google and Microsoft, they were running for no reasons. Because that money is coming and that money is not going anywhere. Even now, that money is coming. It's a money which is coming from European Central Bank. It's a money which is coming from Fed, FOMC. Now, if that kind of money is coming, it will go into the market. And now all of a sudden you will see some stocks which were dead for so many months. All of a sudden they have started running because that money is coming. Nothing has changed in their fundamentals. Nothing has changed in their business, but still they start to run. So everybody who understands this, that there's no point fighting the Fed, short opportunities are there in the market, but you need to be very precise, very quick to get a profit out of short opportunities. Even see, let me just show you one example. Look at ES here. You had the short opportunity. Next day, there's a big green. Short opportunity, next day, there's a big green. These are small short opportunities, but again, it's kind of making that setup. Every time there are short opportunities, it follows up with the green, big green. And that's what is scaring. This is where when the Fed money comes into the market, or because unless and until you stop that infusion of money, that money will still come and that money will still push the market up. This market is not running on fundamentals. This market is running on the fake asset demand created by the Fed. That's why Fed is tapering that money, so that the fake asset demand, the fake valuations, the fake real estate prices can come down.
Okay.
Okay. So puts will come into reality once you realize that yes, the tapering is there, capital gain tax is there. You just need to have one single put, and that single put can easily give you $10-15. Right now, you need to be, every time you buy a put, you'll be thinking twice, should I carry it, should I not? Because you don't know, tomorrow there will be a gap up. That is
Yeah.
what is concerning. Once
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have,
The main thing is I'm not mainly focusing on the. Yeah, I mean, it will be like I'm not that great in this one. Okay, so main thing is like, okay, you have told previously, okay, Madonna. Okay, so that is like, okay, it is went down. So it is like going down like that. Whatever you said. Okay, so something like, okay, Facebook. Okay, Facebook few days back. Okay, it was like around 330, 340. So today it was a good call. Okay, we were able to some make profit. So my question was like, okay, if when it was in 340 there was some news about Facebook, why we are not having that puts?
by if you talk about news, nobody has control on news, and people who trade on news, they already know the news. By the time it comes, you're already into the new, like they already have positions in the market. So you cannot beat that. You need to
Okay.
trade on what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm doing a presentation in my office, right? And all of a sudden something comes out, can I trade it? No. By the time I see it, it may be like down to 3%. What should I do? Should I chase it? There's no sense. So I
Okay.
try to trade on what I see, which seems reasonable at that moment. I don't try to chase key. Yes, it has gone down or it has gone up. Let me try. I'll wait for my labels. That's the only reason I do all this exercise. That yes, if it comes in this area, because I'm not on the screen most of the times. I put alerts when this area or whenever it happens. I have my stop loss. When it comes, I enter. When I enter, I'm fine. I don't care about the news.
Okay.
Trading on news, you can try. You need to be on the front and you need to know it's 43.47, 43.55, and boom, you need to be out. So you have
Got
to
it.
be very, very quick. You need to be on the screen. And I believe you are not a full-time trader.
Yeah,
You-
I'm not.
Then you cannot watch news. Supposedly you are in a meeting, any kind of meeting. Can you watch news if something happens? No. So if opportunity is gone, this doesn't mean that market is dying of opportunities or there are no opportunities in the market which are going to come tomorrow. Every day you will have billions of opportunity. You just need to pick one opportunity and make use of it. One single opportunity. There's no need to trade 10 trades. Pick one trade. Pick a trade which you are 100% sure.
Okay.
All right. So coming back to the topic of CPI. So CPI tomorrow, my understanding is that uh, with with low employment numbers, I think people are not spending much more. And if they're not spending much more, there will not be too much of demand. If there's no demand, we should not have a higher CPI. Definitely the cost of freight, the cost of bringing things the labor cost has definitely increased, but it's kind of it will definitely have impact on the margins of the companies when they're going to post earnings, that in their liabilities there will be an additional cost which will be a hit onto the margin or EPS is the additional labor cost. That may be like substantial amount this time because there's a shortage of labor. But there's also a low demand in uh, consumers. Like if you go to the market, right, and you just check yourself 6 months to 8 months back when you were going into the mall or something, the amount of money you were spending, are you spending the same amount of money now? I would say no, because everything you wanted to buy you have already bought, or everything the free money which was coming to you is not coming anymore. That $1,400 checks which were given to the families, they spent it. That's why there was a good demand. Now that money is no longer there. And if that money is not there, are you spending your own money to buy anything you don't need? Answer would be no. So my still understanding says that yes, tomorrow we will have a cool off CPI. A cool off CPI should bump or push the ES upwards. Anyone else has any other opinion on this? See, it's an interactive session, so you can have your opinion.
Hi, Navaldeep. Wanted to say hi. I joined after a long time. Chaitanya here.
Hi, Chaitanya.
Yeah, bhai. Lots to recover, bhai. I think I posted my screenshot of losses.
It's all right. Yeah, losses. See, losses doesn't. You should not be worried about losses. You should be worried about how you manage the trade.
It killed my
Losses, you
account
can
totally.
recoup losses in maybe 1 or 2 good trades. That's not a big deal. But you need to understand what you did wrong. And once you understand what you did wrong, only then you'll be able to be better. See, you are young. You may, let's say, lose more $50,000 in the market next 1 year. But if your learning from that is zero, see, they're saying that if you fail better.
Correct.
Next time. So if you do not do that, you will never be able to make money. But if you understand 50,000 loss, 100,000 loss, you can recover it very easily. Don't take that on your head and make wrong decisions. That is really
The main problem is that is
very clear.
Yeah.
And don't give up just
Trying to
because you
recover
had
the loss
losses.
and kind of average the options. That's a bad thing I did.
No, people make millions and billions of dollars in options. It's not bad. Because it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean it's bad. That's what I'm saying. Start finding out what wrongs you did. Stop figuring out that, yes, this thing is wrong or this is right. Just write down what wrong you did. Did you trade? And that's why I made this trading journal. And again, this is for everybody who's interested. Before committing into a trade, just ask these questions to yourself before jumping into any trade. I know it's a pain, but if you are losing an opportunity in few seconds, then that's not a trade for you. You're taking that trade because of some other reasons, because somebody said so. Your friend called and said, oh, brother, buy this, and you're doing that. You need to check why you are taking a trade. You need to check what is your emotional state at that moment. Are you working? Are you in a meeting? Are you having a discussion? Do you had a fight with your wife or your girlfriend, or you had your boss? Think about all those things. And when you do that, you'll be able to stop yourself from unnecessary trades.
Correct.
Yes, Bible.
One good trade worked out for me. Last question. Sorry to interrupt. I have oil stocks. Actually, I bought it at very low price. There is one oil stock called FANG. The ticker itself is FANG. Diamondback Energy. I bought it at 70. Now it is at 110. So oil stocks, do you see more rally? I have big lot. Stocks, not options.
See, crude, I think, I don't know how many of you remember, I gave a target of $85 when it was $42. And I told everybody to buy January 2022 or May 2022 calls. And we even bought $50 of crude options, and they worked really well. I even told everybody to buy Oxy when it was 16. Now it's 33. It will still run.
Okay, I'll keep it better.
It will still run, but you're sitting on a profit. Better to book profit and enter a game.
Okay.
Profit in the books is not the profit. You need to book it. You need to have back as cash. All right.
Yeah.
So if nobody has anything, we can get started. So let me just do some scans for tomorrow. Let's see for inside days. Nvidia has inside day. Square. DKNG.
Naval, have you traded C Limited, SC?
SE, no. I have traded that when it was like 150, 60s.
I think the setup is good. You can take a look.
Inside day. I'll mark that.
Naval,
Yes.
this is Manu. Can I interrupt?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So before trading, right? So tomorrow is kind of very highly news-driven kind of a day. We have CPI data which is released, as you know. There's Fed meetings coming up later in the day. So with all these things, first of all, the market is in toilets. You would never know when it's going up and it's coming down. So wishy-washy. With this kind of a backdrop, with these kind of data coming out tomorrow, what is it that you recommend? Do you just want to sit on the sideline and watch the market, or just take a break and come back on Thursday? I mean, I'm just trying to understand
We just had
the
this discussion.
thinking behind it.
We just had this discussion.
Sorry, I joined late.
See, you joined late, but I have to repeat everything again.
I'm sorry, it's okay. We can touch base later. That's okay. I don't want to interrupt that.
But just to give you a context, 830 numbers CPI, I'm expecting them to be cooled off. I'm not expecting them to be hot. And ES is making, and SPY is making inverted head and shoulders. If that works out, then we should be looking for a good move. All this is making inverted head and shoulders. If we break out 43, 47 this time, or 4370 this time, we are going for 4500 straight. There's nothing in between. So in terms of Fed, there's no meeting of Fed. It's just the FOMC meeting of minutes which will be revealed. That's it. Whatever they discuss, you will find them in their notes. They are at least 2 weeks after. So there's nothing to be worried on that aspect. More is on CPI. Market is already discounting a hot CPI. If it is hot, it's fine. Market will have already priced in. If it is light, market will lift up and then move up. Once it breaks 4370, this line, this dark blue line, we should be all right. We should be confident from there. Okay, let's.
Got it. Thank you.
And let me just log this meeting because I don't want more people to join now. And again, one request, if you are on time, it's easier for me to do things. If you're coming again and again, I'll go back to YouTube because that's the only way I can manage things. All right, so Square has an inside day. I've included Square. Snap is looking good. DKNG, I wanted to include, so instead of Nike, I'm including DKNG or Disney. I can still keep Nike. Any other ticker you want me to include in my list? Anybody?
Well, can you have a look at QS?
QS, yes. QS, I think I gave QS call today. Yes. QS, yes.
Palantir.
Palantir is, I can explain Palantir, but it's not looking good.
FB?
Huh?
ARFM.
A firm.
Yeah.
A firm I'm also holding.
FB?
Which one?
FB, Facebook.
Facebook is there. You can see in the screen, man.
What about car?
Yeah, sorry,
Avis budget.
Coin.
Fine, yes. We can discuss coin.
LRCX.
Which one?
LRCX.
LRCX. I do not trade that. I prefer AMD Nvidia over it. And I have both AMD and Nvidia.
Hey, what about premiums are very costly.
No, it's not about costly. This is so unlucky for me. I don't want to even like touch this.
What about CrowdStrike?
CrowdStrike I can include, yes. I think we have
Should
enough.
we include something on the banking side?
Nah, I don't want to touch it. I want to have their outcomes out. And then if CPI is fine, then I'll not even touch them.
Naval, what about Ford? There was a huge call activity on December strike.
If Ford, I have stocks. I don't trade options on Ford. It's a long-term investment, Ford. Ford, General Motors, both are long-term investments. If you really want to buy Ford, you have to buy options in thousands and make money out of it. And I have better options than Ford and General Motors. Okay, I think we are good. Let me get started and see where we are. Okay. So I'll be muting you all now. And in case you somebody has still the lower hand, let me just mute you all. And once I'm done, we can ask or discuss once again. Okay. Thank you. So let's start from ES first. ES, as we have discussed in detail, it's setting up for an inverted head and shoulders. So as of now, I am showing a bullish, neutral to bullish intent on this. So I'll be keeping a stop loss of 4316 very clearly. That's the trend line. So stop loss is 4316 and buy above 4347. Target, I'm looking for 4385. And if we break 4385, this time we'll be definitely breaking 444. I'm positive with inverted head and shoulders. IHS is inverted head and shoulders. I'm just keeping a form. So I'm positive. Below this, I will be definitely short. You may not need even a stop loss for this. If we break this 4316, we'll be breaking this channel. So at that time, if I draw a line, maybe a channel from here going like this, somewhere. If we break this, next support is 4295. 4295, if it breaks this time, we are done. We'll come all the way to 4200. So I'm just keeping very small targets in here. 4295 and 4247. I'm just giving it 30%. And stop loss here would be 43. What's the 4330? I think that should be the good. 4336, that should be the good stop loss. Okay, so it's positive if we break above 4347. At that moment, I'll be looking for any of the tickers if they are positive with respect to the market and look for their targets. And this will be my stop loss in case market goes up and I need to trail. I'll be moving my stop losses up. Then triple Q. Triple Q has been getting rejected from this 361 line, and it's in the negative trend as of now. But if I go to, I want to check two things here. Let's take 2-day chart. So 2-day chart, it's still in an inside day, and this is making a morning star on the 2-day. Let me just check it on weekly. It's still making, on the weeklies, it's still making lower lows and lower highs. As of now, if we break out above 361 and go up, I think that will become a morning star on the weekly, which will be really, really good. So as of now, it's getting started like this. Hopefully tomorrow it can be green and overcome and make this as a bullish engulfing and then turn into a morning star on weekly. That will be really, really good. Previously, it has something similar, like the green candle followed by the red candle followed by the green candle, and then we had the massive move up. Similarly here, the red candle is followed by the green candle, and it's under the 12 EMA. Do not touch the red line. Same scenario is setting up. Most likely, we are going up on this with a small stop loss of 354 on triple Q. I'm just taking long here. Yeah, this. I'm just getting rid of this short. I know Apple has a negative news, but if market moves up, Apple news can be easily discounted. So I'm just marking it as neutral, and stop loss is 354. Target is 361.44. And then next target is on the daily 365.65. And buy it above. This is actually a bullish, bearish, not even bearish. This was a hammer in a downtrend, so it should actually move up. But it failed. But if you notice today, Amazon kind of held throughout the day. Tesla kind of held throughout the day. Only in the last few minutes when the Apple news came out, they gave up. But still, they did not make the new lows for the day. But market did. So that's showing some positive strength. So in case of here, I'll mark this that if we open above 358.59 area, 358.60, that should be a good, come on, that should be a good area to enter. Apple, we have seen the news after hours. It had again similar structure to triple Q, but it's coming here. If we hold this 139.73, we have bounced multiple times from here. The max I think we can go down is 137, because that's the long-term trend line. So 138, just to be clear, 138 is the area where I need to go long in Apple if it comes. I'm just marking it as neutral. Buy or near I no doubt about this whether I'm going to get this price or not. Buy near 139.73, 138, and target will be 142.88 and 144.50. Even after they are cutting down on production, yes, but you also need to understand that Apple has increased their base in services side. They're getting a massive volume from the wearables, not from the phones only, but from their wearables, watches, and services. So you cannot ignore that part. AMD, I'm still bullish. AMD is making an inside day, and the interesting aspect is it's making dodgy and back dodgy again. But you see one important thing which is happening here, that yes, the green line is almost converging the red line, and it's showing that yes, the trend here is changing, and it has a habit of getting rejected at certain levels, like here 107. In the past, if you come here, just ignore my chart, is too messy, but here it had a similar setup. It was trying to move up, failed, up, and all of a sudden it had boom. Something similar is going to happen now. I'm expecting it has consolidated enough in this 107 area. Maybe this week, maybe next week, something is coming. Something is coming which is not move it to 111. Stop loss is still 104 area, and it's an inside day for today. So I'm bullish on AMD. And buy this near 105. I will not even go to 105.50. Stop loss is 104. Target is this one. If we break this time and 108, 111 will be there. So pretty bullish on AMD. Amazon is roughly making an inside day. It's not clean, but it's making an inside day. And Amazon also, if you see here, it's kind of testing the like channel here. This was the channel top. It got rejected, came back, tested up, got rejected, came back to the bottom. Right now it's there in the bottom. I think it's finding its base. 32.16 is an area where you should have a base on Amazon. 32.16, and I'm looking for a target of 32.87, 32.86, and 33.44. So I am positive on Amazon. It has done the gap fill because it's previous level. And one more thing you will see is it's trying to hold this area. Here, multiple times it has taken the support, and this was the morning star which was setting up here. It's taking good support even on the weeklies. Let's check that. Weeklies, it's, you see, it's in that support area right here. You see, this is the support area. So 32.40 is something which is really important for Amazon. So if you get this around 32.40 or above, 32.40 to 30.50, I think it should be fine. Stop loss should be 32.16, and target should be 32.86, 33 and 44. BA had a breakout and then it failed big time. It had a breakout and it failed. Closed right on the 12 EMA. So with the gap which was there has been filled. The gap between the candle and EMA is filled. So I think now it's a good entry point with the stop loss of 221.60. I'm marking this as neutral because it's failed to break out. 221.60 and buy about 224. Target is 225.42 and 229. This went to 232, but now it has given back, so I'm just giving it 60%. Google, last time we checked, it was touching 2800. It got rejected again from the channel, came back. Now this is the area where it has support, 2720 area. So it closed right above it. It tested this, but managed to close above it. 2720 is your stop loss, very clear stop loss right now. It will hold that. So if you are in Google, I'm marking this as neutral. 2720 is stop loss area. So any buy above this line, 2730, 2740 is something. 2730, 2740 is the area where you can enter. And look out for 2767 and 2757 first. 2757, 67 and 2800. In this case, I'm much more confident. 70%. Nvidia. Similar to AMD, Nvidia is struggling to break out of this 12 EMA. It's trying to hold it, but not able to close back to back in 3. Roughly, it's making a morning star. It's not a clean morning star, but roughly. So anytime it breaks about 208.68, I think it will have a good move upside. Stop loss is pretty confined now, 208. If it moves above, then 208 is your stop loss. Buy about 209. So in case it goes above 209, that's where you need to enter. Look out for 211 and 218. And I'm also marking this as positive. Facebook, I picked it up at 320 today. And it's like long-term support line. It should bounce from here. Every time it comes around this area, it has bounced. And even today, it's kind of making a hammer. So in a long-term downtrend, finally a hammer shows strength. Target could be 334, 35, 335, 338 in Facebook. And stop loss should be traced low, 317. Stop loss will be higher here. I'm finally getting positive on Facebook. And these are like day basis. Let me mark this 320. Buy above 324. Today's high is 324.40. Let's take it 324.50. If it goes above 324.50, target is 335 and 338. And I'm 70% positive on this. DKNG, I've been checking this DKNG thing for quite a while. It had a gap between the 12 EMA. Finally, slowly, after grinding, the gap is filled. A break above 50, you can have a massive move. So DKNG, I'm positive, but I need a break above 50. I'll not be trying to be smart and jump early, but I want it to go above 50. If it does, target is 53. And once 53 is crossed, we'll have a good target of 58. Previously, it got stuck in this range and then broke out. It broke out and went to 64. Something similar is setting up right here. So above 50, it can be really good. Stop loss will become 49.60. So that's still about 2.5% out. But yes, it's a good setup. It's a very good setup. If it breaks out, it will be a move. QS is making a morning star. So I'll mark that as morning star. And target is 25 on QS. And let me make some levels here. I'm just taking this. So I'll explain later on why I did this, not this one. But it's 24 area. If it breaks 24, which it has done with strength, which is showing, it's open for 26.36. 24 is the stop loss for QS. And I think it has some move setting up. So buy above today's high. Today's high was 24.60. Once it breaks today's high, it means yes, it has strength. Target is 25.21 and 26.36. Again, this and this both are 70% convictions. Netflix. Back to back, making lower lows, lower highs, and filling this 12 EMA. 618 should be the stop loss. If it comes here, go long. See, at this time, I told you to short. Break of 365 and 635, not 65, 635. A break of 635. It came all the way to 621.22 area, which was our target. So now, if it comes around 618, I think that should be the good stop loss. And I will be a buyer in it for 635. As we are estimating QQQ to move up. So QQQ can move up with all these companies in place. So inside day, I'll be a buyer above 622. But this is the least of the stock where I will try. So I'm just giving it 60%. Shopify is looking really, really good to me. It's been holding that 1356 area, this stop loss area pretty smoothly. So this time, if it breaks above, we can easily see 1420. It did 1420 last time, but even now I'm expecting it to do 1420. So Shopify buy above 1357. If market goes above, buy above any. Like what's today's high? 1379. So let's give 1370 to 80 area. And this will be the target. Shopify, I'm still neutral. Roku has been holding this again area pretty strongly, 319, 330 and 345. It just needs that push, Roku. I'm not giving it positive because it has been struggling, but stop loss buy above 325. I think that was today's high. 325, yes. If it goes over 325, 330 and 345 are the targets. And again, this has not fallen with the market. So yes, it's strong. Tesla, I'm positive. It's breaking out. Stop loss is moved up. I would now give stop loss at 796 because this is the area where it has struggled in the past. 796, 797. So I'll be looking for 797 as like as much as near, and then go long for 845. 845 is the target on Tesla. Stop loss is 796. Buy above 805. Target is 845. And I will add new levels in Tesla maybe tomorrow because it is breaking out from these levels. I'm just taking a round number of 825 in between target. So this is the possibility for Tesla. Snap is really beautiful. It has set up this area 17 T359. It has respected this beautifully. So I'm pretty bullish. Anytime it comes around 74.60, just buy this. It's about to break out. It's again like an outside day, a bullish candle. It's about to break out. So I'm positive here on Snap. Buy on dip. Target is this pretty much. Square had a good move today. I was looking at it, but again, it got failed by 240.42. It needs to break out. So now if it breaks above 241, I'll be interested to enter for 249 because this time the different thing is that now the candle will be moving above the 12 EMA, which is actually a positive sign. In the past few weeks, it has been struggling to breach this. So now it's there. It needs to break out. Above 241, it can be really, really good. So I'm just marking this neutral. Above 241. Stop loss is 240. And target is coming as 249. I'm just giving it 249 target. And Square is a very good mover if market supports. So yes. So I'm more of positive on the market. If market goes below here, I'll be jumping onto the weakest, which is Apple. Like anything which is neutral will become weakest. Anything which is positive, if market runs, I'll be interested to pick them up first as compared to anything else. I'll not be jumping onto neutrals, but I'll be trying to pick the elements which are positive. Now let me go and do these tickers. SE. SE has an outside bullish day. A break above 328 can take it to 337. 337 is a good area for resistance. 328 should be your entry. If it holds for 30 minutes above 328, only then enter into SE. Otherwise, there's no point entering into SE. And stop loss will be 322. Then Affirm. Affirm has been positive. It's still trying to hold this long-term resistance line as spread, as support. Today, it did not make a new high, make a lower high and a lower low, but in between it is catching this EMA. So I want this to go up and match this, but 1, 2, it's kind of making a flag pattern. So let's see if it's going to break out or break down tomorrow. It's roughly an inside day. If you ignore the few hours in the morning, it's practically an inside day. So I'm looking for a breakout. If it breaks above 145 tomorrow, it will break out the all-time highs and then look for 159. It is holding this line for a purpose. It's not breaking down. Last time it failed here, it came down. This time it's holding. After breaking, it's holding. When it is holding, there's possibility for a one more push on a firm. Coin. Coin again, like it struggled to cross 253. It tries to test 265. Last time we were speaking about this, but the good thing is that now the EMAs are converging. It's showing the sign that yes, it's in the bottoming out area. So 244 is something, if it comes, I'll be entering and interested to enter into coin at 244. It had a good rally from 224 to 265, but now I think 244 is something which should be benchmarked for longs and then go up from there. Palantir. Palantir is a double inside day, 1, 2, 3. A break. See, if if I have to jump into Palantir, I'll be jumping only about to 25.58. 25.58 is something which, like, I'm expecting if I have Palantir to break out somewhere in November. Break out above this, then there's no resistance. It's a clear sky. Right now it has resistance. So it needs to break out of this area. This is a big selling zone. So I want this line to be closed with some strength. So if you want to take a breakout play about 24 and look out for 25.58. If you really want to play a breakout on double inside day, but it's still in the negative trend. It's making a good base here. A good base, good consolidation can always end up in a big move. So yes. LRCX, Lam Research. It needs to break above 566. Like MU and Lam Research, they move in the same direction. So I think we have better trade than LRCX. Nvidia is much better, AMD is much better at this moment. But if you really have a craving to trade, buy above 560. Otherwise, there's no point. It's making a bearish engulfing, so possibly it may go down further. So buy only above 560. That's what $14 away. So you want to short, you can short now on LRCX. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is at the long-term support. It's kind of managing it, holding it. And today it finally bounced from it, made a new high in the last couple of days. So break above 253, you can mark it as positive and look out for 257 and 263. Stop loss should be 249.50. CrowdStrike. It's showing some strength today. Then it was F. F is making bullish pattern. Break above 1566. Let me extend to the right. Long-term trend line, it broke. I think it's very bullish. You can go for 1650 on Ford. Yes, 1650 can easily come. Once it breaks 1650, it will run massively. So it's in a good spot. I am in Ford in cash at 1150 in Ford. So that was it from me. Let me just stop the